ASMR Koffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Koffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today we're reviewing Double Shot at Love, Season 3, Episode 9, Vin-Prov. The bio here reads, Polly and Nikki invite the ladies to join a fun game of improv until things get out of hand. Vinny insults one of the ladies and ends up in the doghouse, and Vinny makes a surprising move at elimination. I think they had a pretty good episode here, man. They go into like this improv game that they get into later. I think that really helped out. I thought it was one of the more fun episodes. Either I want these chicks fucking fighting and clashing or having a good time and partying. And I think we get a little bit of all that in this one. So in the beginning, they're really just hanging out. Akeelia plays basketball with Vinny. They had a great time. It makes me think, why are they having fucking basketball? Where did she get this one-on-one date from? How did this happen? Takes me out of the episode. Makes me feel overly produced. I'm just an asshole, and that's what it immediately got to me. Next, they have a pool day. You know, that same day, they're kind of got a pool day going. He gets some alone time with some of the girls. He ends up hooking up with Erica D again. I think he's got the most, consistent thing going on with Erica D for sure. As they're having this pool party, I happen to notice that Jillian got a fat ass. Jillian, goddamn you poppin', was really good. Next, Kayla chills with Polly. He gets some alone time with Giovanna. I noticed him and Giovanna, Peyton's kind of making fun of them that they look so awkward. But in the end, they hug, and definitely no kiss goes on. And I think it was Peyton that makes the comment, how can you fuck if you can't even hug? Or, if you can't even hug. So I fucking was floored by that one. She was killing me. But they were just wilding, you know what I mean? They're just out hanging out. I think he's trying to get the feel and the vibe of all these girls, but he's definitely got that feel more with Erica D than I think he would Giovanna. Next is the best part of the whole fucking episode. They get into this Vin-Prov. It's like them playing improv games, and so you get to see how much these girls really got in them to be funny, or to make things up on the spot. And they're a little bit more confident than I think they should be. But the winner's gonna get a date with Vinny, and he gets them doing all sorts of things like Roomba, 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 playing all sorts of games. Him and Jillian get to scissoring pretty quick in this episode. They definitely looked like a pair of scissors that I would fucking play with like in kindergarten and make fucking just do this for no reason, They were bouncing off of each other. I definitely know he was working with half a pack of Rolaids after that one, because I know I was. Giovanna is trying to play this improv character. Improv is where you can be anybody at anybody, but she was just her being a bitch. You know what I mean? These girls are just more being themselves than anything. While they're playing this game, and he's hugging Erica D, and he goes, oh, this is my girlfriend, Kayla. Boy, you was hanging on to fucking Erica D, and you was calling her Kayla. What the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, you can be anybody you want. Shut the fuck up. You know you messed up. Dude, they were killed. Like, the girls were letting them, they were like, damn. Erica D storms off like she should. And Kayla's like, that's right. I'm on his fucking head. I'm on his memory, all this sorts of stuff. He's totally trying to play it off, but he totally messed up. In the end, Peachy wins the date with Vinny. They have really good vibes. Peachy is drop dead gorgeous. They're hanging out. I think she's going to look good now. She's going to look good 20 years from now. They have a really good vibe, but she's, telling, the vibe is there. She's like, people, you're not awkward. Other people are awkward there because they're not fucking, they're unsure of themselves. And they're just being themselves, goofing off, hanging out. And, the vibe's really there. I think that the Erica D and Polly definitely got, Erica D and Peachy definitely got the most vibes with Vinny. Dude, he's like dropping Peachy off after the date, and he sees fucking Erica D, and he calls her Kayla again, like, ha ha ha, like it's a joke. And she's like, no, I don't want to hear that shit. And she's pissed, like she should be. And he's just definitely in the doghouse, like the thing says. In the end, he calls 3 girls to dinner. He calls Giovanna, Jillian, and Kayla, calls them to dinner. They have to wake Kayla up for dinner. She was so sure of herself that she was like, oh, I'm not even going to get ready. She's like crashed out in bed, and like all the girls are done up, and she totally fucking is like getting kicked out, like time to go, like let's roll. In the end, he talks to all 3 of them. He's like, this show's called Double Shot at Love, not Double Shot at Like. So I can only worry about girls I'm trying to fall in love with. And in the end, I'm not falling in love with any 3 of you. And he tells me it's game over. And the look on Giovanna's face is going to be a fucking meme forever. She's turned herself into a gif. She's having a drink. And she's like, she's like, oh my God, like a hen house, like oh my God. It's definitely something to fucking see. I felt so bad for her. She was taken back. Like all the other girls take it in stride, And like she was like the mob boss's wife. Like she could not believe this shit. and she was like, I opened up to you, blah, blah, blah. I came and fucking all this sorts of stuff. I felt bad for her, you know, but she was just so appalled, like, how dare you? And that's it, man. That's game over. So there's only 6 girls left. We have the top 6, which are Danielle, Peyton, Peachy, I think it's KP, Erica D, and Akeelia. I think I got that right. Just the 6 left, man. It looks like next week we're going to meet the parents. This is a really good episode. I don't do it justice. You really got to see the improv to see these girls, you know, going out there and doing what they do. Really good episode on this one. One of the better ones. With only 6 girls left, I think maybe we only got 5 episodes left. This is 9, so probably 14 episodes. That sounds about right for Double Shot at Love. But pretty good, man. Of all these girls, Danielle, Peyton, Peachy, KP, Erica D, and Akeelia, I'm going to say that I still think it's going to be either Peachy or Erica D. I think it's definitely in his top 2. Danielle will be a front runner too, but I definitely think it's going to come down to the wire with Peachy and Erica D. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the Koffin. Follow us on social media at Koffin Radio. Koffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Koffin Radio.